Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargava. Welcome to Tit-Bits on Business and Finance with me. Governance under the Modi regime has always been marked by a state of denial, by an attitude and practice of doctoring of data as we call it. The former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh has called it a practice of headline management by the government. And that's been done by the government by either blatantly fudging and doctoring key figures, data and statistics, or by simply denying, by simply not accepting any other figure, any other data or report which is not to the comfort of the government in power. We have seen the government fudge figures related to GDP and growth rate consistently, and so has been the case with figures related to jobs, unemployment, fiscal deficit, NPAs, ease of doing business, tax collection, and many others. This data manipulation by the government has been often confirmed by former top executives and functionaries of the government. The former Chief Economic Advisor, Dr. Arvind Subramaniam, confirmed this. So did the former Finance Secretary, Mr. S.C. Garg, and so was the case of Dr. Urjit Patel, who did that in his own cryptic manner. But it was very clear they were all confirming that the government has been doctoring the data. Interestingly, they have all given this confirmation only after they quit, after they were not in the chair. But while they were in the seat, it is they who either indulged in the doctoring of data, they presided over it, or they defended these doctored data, or they were mute witnesses to this practice of the government and they did not object to it. By now claiming that the economy is witnessing a V-shaped recovery, the government is only showing that this mindset of the government continues, that of denial and that of doctoring. By claiming that the economy is witnessing a V-shaped recovery, the government, according to us, is making two false claims. The first false claim being that the economy has bottomed out, the sharp fall has come to an end, the worst is over. And the second false claim is that after the bottoming out, a rapid recovery has started, such as to call it a V-shaped recovery. We think on both these counts, the government is not correct. There is a state of denial. The fact of the matter is that when we see at the practical economy in our daily lives, neither the economic crisis nor the COVID pandemic are yet to peak in India. And because they have not peaked, any kind of a durable or a sustained resumption of growth in the economy has not yet begun. If somebody starts to see recovery only because of sales that took place in the month of June and July, then first of all, let's be clear, August has been no good. And the sales that went up in June and July were only because of an effect of a pent-up demand for the months of April and May. There was no durability in that growth. It is back to what it was. Thus, there is no V-shaped recovery in sight according to us. Notwithstanding this, India's present Chief Economic Advisor Shri K.V. Subramaniam says that he sees signs of a V-shaped recovery already in the offing. In a recent interview, he says that the worst is over for the Indian economy and that India is staring at a V-shaped recovery. A V-shaped recovery would mean that the fall is over and a rapid resumption of growth has taken place. In making this claim, he refers to 60 odd parameters and indicators which include e-way bills, railway freight, consumption of power, steel and cement, rising toll collections, etc. And his claim is that it's a V-shaped recovery already in the offing. He does admit that the recovery is not sharp as the fall, but the shape, according to him, is in a V shape. He further says that core sector output has been encouraging, and he makes his claim of this kind of a recovery despite admitting the fact that economic revival measures are needed to be initiated by the government in order to boost discretionary spending in India when the festival season comes. And he says that the government needs to boost its own spending in order to boost consumer spending in the economy. Despite all this, according to him, a sharp recovery has already started. The further surprise is that he says that the 5 trillion target economy may be difficult to achieve, but it is not unachievable according to him. We are surprised at this statement also for the simple reason Financial year 2021 is certainly a year which we are going to lose in contraction of the economy. The economy has not grown, it is not going to grow, it will be contracting. And according to Goldman Sachs, that might be the case for financial year 21-22 also. With 2 complete years being lost, how is it possible to achieve this kind of a GDP target of $5 trillion? But then, with this mindset of doctoring and denial, perhaps it looks achievable. The reality is that the real picture, the real state of the economy is starkly different from what the chief economic advisor would want us to believe. The worst is certainly not over for the economy as he claims, and neither is it over for COVID. They are both yet to peak. What is the reality that is very evident and that has been widely reported and cannot be denied? The first reality is that the economy has contracted in a huge way in the first quarter of this financial year. The economy contracted by 23.9%, which is almost a quarter. And that's the kind of contraction that took place. It was the worst among all major economies of the world. The contraction continues. The reduction of the GDP, the reduction of our incomes continue. The second is consumption has fallen. Consumption has fallen by 27%. The Reserve Bank itself says that it will take a very long time for consumption in India to recover, and particularly in the matter of discretionary spending, which is one of the key factors to watch when we see how is growth picking up in the economy. Investment in the economy fell by 47%, and many large corporate groups, including the Tatas, Godrej, and many others, have already postponed all their fresh investments by way of capital expenditure. Jobs are being lost at a fast, unprecedented pace. According to the CMIE, between March to June, India witnessed a loss of 85 million jobs. The figure at the moment is about 110 million jobs lost. When will they come back? None of us know, because uncertainty prevails in the economy. According to the All India Manufacturers Organization, 35% of MSMEs have already gone beyond recovery. In other words, they are closing down. And if MSME close down in this manner, there's only going to be further losses in jobs, for the simple reason that MSMEs provide about 90% of jobs in the country. This sector is in a bad shape. The only sector which has done good has been the rural sector. Its growth was 3.2%. But let's be very clear. The rural sector, agriculture, contributes only 19% of India's GDP. And even in the agricultural sector, in the rural sector, 48% of their income is from non-agricultural sources. Therefore, the rural sector, the agri sector doing good is not good enough to pull India out of the contraction that it faces, is not good enough to give such a boost that the economy starts recovering. The larger picture that comes out of all this is that if India does not witness a sustainable, durable recovery in a major way very soon, then what we will get into is what is known as a low income, low demand nation. A low income, low demand nation would mean there is rampant joblessness or underemployment. Business closures have taken place. Growth is not taking place. In such a nation, the expected growth rate is always below 5% in a low income, low demand nation. And if India wants to grow fast, if India wants to become a middle income nation, it will need to grow at the rate of 8 to 9% for at least 25 years at a stretch. 5% is not good enough to make us even a middle income nation. Therefore, if we do not recover very fast and we get into this trap of being a low income, low demand nation, then recovery in the nation, recovery in the economy is going to be a matter of decades. There is going to be no such V-shaped recovery as the CA likes to see it. And one of the most unfortunate impact of this kind of a situation of low income, low demand is going to be millions of Indians who had been pulled out of poverty. They will actually go back into poverty. The solution lies in a stimulus package. The solution lies in investment shooting up. The solution lies in export shooting up. The solution lies in increased jobs, increased international trade, better governance and reforms. And the key solution would lie in stop this attitude of denial and doctoring, because by doing that you're only hiding the problem for some other generation to tackle, and that's not what governance is all about. This is Akhilesh Bhargava signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.